had a crash in the first corner in the second moto and in the second corner in the first moto, so we're pretty much dead last on the first lap or whatever, close to it for both motos. So quick catch up all day, but it's just a learning experience. So we learned some, and so we'll be better next weekend.
Was it like a little easier than you thought, or a little harder, or like kind of hard to describe? Because you can do amateur races and practice motos all day, and this is nothing like Supercross that you did this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what I expected. You know, the track is obviously super rough, and it's kind of like nothing that amateur guys have ever really experienced, and the long motos and the heat, and just the intensity and stuff. But I think we'll fare well in it, and I feel fit and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much what I had expected coming in.
The weekend was good. Good starting point. I believe I went 12-14, and yeah, good starting point. I had some mistakes here and there, and honestly a little bit surprised on where I fit in, because I came from like 20 plus each moto, I think, to get back up, and you know, I'm pretty happy with my fitness, and yeah, just doing this thing. It's pretty cool to get off the track, give out some gloves and some plastics, and people want my autograph, and it's like, pretty crazy.
Is it easier than you thought, or harder than you thought, or just like pretty hard to pinpoint what you figured and what it compared to be?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it wasn't necessarily. I can't say it's easier than I thought, and that track was ridiculously gnarly. Every lap it seemed like coming down after the step up, left, downhill, that double right there. And I'd ruts, and I'd clip my pegs, and then land in the braking bumps, and like, it was so sketchy every lap. So the track made it really, really, really tough. But I'm pretty surprised and impressed and pleased where my speed's at. And, you know, I think I can be a top 10 guy. Just gotta limit the mistakes. And first moto I had a horrible start, and I actually lined up between Hill and Savachi, both motos, and horrible start, and then crashed second lap. Just a weird crash. Put me way back, and then caught up to like, I don't know, 16th or something, and then crashed again, way back again, and then came back to 12th. And so all in all, pretty pleased. And second moto, honestly, it was a pretty similar deal. A guy like came to a stop in the third turn, and I ran in the back of him. A bunch of people ran in the back of me, and then see, did I have another crash? Yeah, and then I was trying to get by McElrath before the finish, and caught his back tire and like went off the side, and then I was stuck there between the banner, and I didn't know what to do. I just like try to wheelie through the banner, and then I wheelied around, and I fell through the banner. It was a mess. So yeah, pretty pleased. I don't know, harder. It's really, really, really hard. It's been a long time since I've had. I don't have a blister, but my calluses are hurting real nice. My hands are sore. My arms are sore. Shoulders, back. Pretty much everything's sore. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was good first moto. I think I got second in the start, right behind Adam, and I was able to find the pace, and I struggled in practice big time. I think I qualified 19th or something, so I was pretty upset. Because I kind of just called myself after practice. It wasn't really talking, but we made some mental changes, and obviously we're pretty good. Got out front and tried to run the pace for as long as we could, and went down and got up, down it again, and the little lapper got in the way, so I went down again. So second moto, didn't get as good of a start, and we kind of just settled in, and we're all right though. I mean, we can only get better from here, and we got another race next week. So that's the good thing about the pros. And I'm happy to do it. Like I said, we can only get better, and looking forward to next week. Yeah, so obviously, we got off to a good start in the first moto, and then I just had a hard time getting going, and I got passed by some guys and was struggling a little bit, and started to kind of feel a groove and had some arm pump and was kind of able to manage it. I saw my brother up there, and I was just hoping I could get in the top 5 the first moto, and unfortunately with 10 minutes to go, my bike we had a little issue, and she just said I'm done. So I had 35th K pick in Moto 2, and I think I was like anywhere between 15th or 20th going into the second turn, and I just found my way all the way up and just almost got Fortner for second, and we were kind of closing in on Zach a little bit, but I think he was just kind of maintaining the gap.
Cool. This is the first race you've done in a little bit. How did it feel to come back and rework into the flow? Like, you're going to do practice here, going to find the fitness here, because you've done a lot of practice motos, but not a real race.
Yeah, everything felt good. I think we learned a lot of stuff that you can't really mimic with the tracks, like during the week. We made some changes for a little bit more engine power for the motos. In the second moto, we were definitely a lot better. So we're looking, we got a big gap to close, but I think we can do it, and it's a long season.
Hey, one thing I was going to ask you this the other day, but I didn't get the chance to see you. For a 2-time champion, you're kind of coming in here under the radar. Do you feel that way, or do you feel that, is that an expected move? Is that on purpose?
I don't know if it's expected. I mean, I like to fly under the radar. Let those guys have the limelight. Savacci and Osborne and Cincerillo. I mean, I'm just a small town kid from Millville, so I've never really liked it. And yeah, we'll see who's on top at the end of the year.
It was a good weekend. I rode amazing. I know that I can be at least a top 5 guy, if not podium, so that's a big confidence booster. Just need to stay off the ground. Crashed both motos, the second moto was the 7th, battling with Savacci, and I just went down on the last lap, and I think I got 11th, and I just kind of stuck. So, overall great weekend. I have the speed to run up front, and that's exciting.
Hey, this is your second year at it, so feel like it's getting a little bit easier? The more you know, the more you do it, the more you know how the tracks, the pace, the competition.
Definitely second year is a little easier. You know what you gotta do. I mean, you don't have to go all out the first round. You just gotta be consistent. And my trainer Dylan Turner has helped me a lot through Supercross and the off season. And I feel that I am light years in front of my rookie season. I can actually run up in the top 10 and maybe in the top 5. So just gonna do that. I can't take the Star Racing Yamaha. Don't really team enough. And they have great bikes, so I just put it up there for them.
It was actually really good, man. I had a lot of fun out there today. It's my first race, like you said, in a little bit. First outdoor of the season, just trying to get it under our belt. And man, I was pumped on today. 5.6 is my best finish I've had outdoors ever. Granted, it's only my second season in, but last year was kind of a train wreck. So this year we were looking to build off something good. And today to go 5.6 for 5th overall was it's a really good place to start for me. I think I surprised maybe even myself a little bit and a lot of other people. So I'm happy, man. We've got about 3-4 weeks on the bike now. So just really starting to get into it deep and start building on it and keep building for the rest of the season.
Cool. Hey, the couple things that had happened to you that put you on the sidelines earlier this year, had you worked around all that? Were you worried when you're out there, man, I hope this doesn't feel tight or get tense or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I mean, injury-wise, I ended up breaking my scaphoid in Minneapolis in a practice crash, and I didn't know it until I did my MCL right before Daytona. It had been bothering me the whole time. I went and got it x-rayed, and it turned out I had a broken scaphoid. So, nursed around a cast for a while I was trying to fix my MCL and just kind of take my time with all that. But injury-wise, man, I feel healthy. I feel fit. Probably the most fit I've felt, I think, in a long time. So I'm really happy with how we're feeling right now, and just to keep progressing and keep building off of a solid first round.
It was good.
I'm just blocking out sound.
What?
I'm just blocking out that sound.
Yeah, it was all right.
decent starts all day, like 8 to 10 starts all day, which isn't great, but you know, it'll work. Just makes it a little bit tougher. But first moto, had some kind of electrical problem with the bike. I don't know exactly what, not really anything that the team could have done. It's kind of a weird thing. And the bike was cutting out and quitting on the first lap, and I had to pull into the mechanics area. And I like kind of cut the track because they like it was cutting out, and I wanted to get back to the mechanics area as soon as I could. So I just I kind of cut the track and went back, and they worked on it. And they got it running good, and the guys that were coming by while I was getting worked on, and I went to pull back on the track, and I probably pulled off. I was probably at about 20 to 25th, 30th or so whenever I pulled off. But since I cut the track, they made me let everybody go by, even some of the guys that had fallen, so that I had to wait for them. I was probably 45 seconds back at least, like maybe a minute back from the leaders, and just rode hard, and some guys made some mistakes, and some guys got tired, and I got back to 11th. Wasn't not a good finish, but it's good from having to come from last and have to wait for like everybody to come by. Second moto was better. Got a pretty good start, and then it got hit in the first turn, and I think there was a pileup, and they hit me, and I didn't crash, but I got hit. Had to go really wide. That's what ended up breaking my fender, was because somebody just came in and smashed me. But yeah, it was good. Just kind of was patient and figured the track out, and rode just like hard the whole time, and you know, just slowly kind of came from about 7th. I think I was 7th on the first lap, and just slowly kind of worked my way up, and got Alex Martin with 2 laps to go. We had just gotten the 2-lap board. I made a pretty good pass on him and got into second, and just tried to sprint for like half a lap. It's late in the moto, so it's hard to sprint, but just tried to sprint for the last, like, at least lap, and then on the last lap, I just kind of cruised and ended up getting second. So it was really good. My fitness was really good. I was actually a little bit, honestly, I was a little bit surprised at how good it was. Like I was just kind of riding smooth, and those other guys just got tired. And, you know, I felt good all day though. You know, practice didn't go good. I think I qualified like 14th or something. Had some mistakes in practice, but like the race, I was pretty dialed. Like didn't fall, and rode really good. And my times, even at the end of the race, I think I had one of the fastest lap times of both motors. So it was good. Just got a little bit better start, and I think I can run up there with Zach and be battling for wins, and definitely get some podiums. I think I got 5th overall today, and with an 11 too. That's better than I thought. So I mean, I'm happy with that, considering that I wasn't even sure if I was going to finish the first moto on the first lap. Glad to come out 5th overall.
Better start this year than last year. Got off to great starts in both my motos. Was in 4th in the first moto, past Cantrell, and pretty much just stayed there the whole time. And it was a hot one today, so the heat kind of got to me in the second moto, and I went backwards a little bit, but still stayed in podium place. So yeah, we ended up with 3rd today. So we'll go carry the momentum into next weekend, and hopefully get the W.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. You know, I guess, how was your weekend?
Yes.
So we started from the beginning. So yeah, practice first practice, I was like, dude, they watered it so much, and they had no B practice, so I was like, man, I think I might just head to the pits and get a beer or something with my mechanic Jordy and wait for it to dry up, because it was just like so muddy. You know, a fast lap time's not going to come from there. So yeah, second practice, we got 10th and 10K pick, and kind of didn't have the greatest start in the first moto, and was able to come like outside the top 10 to had a good charge, 4th. I didn't feel necessarily the greatest, but the track was pretty gnarly. Like, I haven't seen ruts like that in Hangtown in a long time, and I haven't seen 90-degree weather either. So it was a pretty physically demanding day, right off the bat. Yeah, just really happy to be 4-4 and come on here second overall, and first race back from injury, and yeah, I mean, really can't ask for much more. I mean, obviously Zacho went 1-1 and got quite a few points on us, but it's a long season, and a lot can happen. So I'm just gonna try and be as consistent as I can, and try and be there week in, week out, and just keep making gains and progress.
Cool. that last 5 laps or so of that second moto, were you just kind of gassed at that point? I mean, that was a really good charge, and then, but it seemed like when Austin and your brother got there, not that you gave up, but you're just like, yeah, dude, I gave it everything I had to run early.
I mean, I put in, obviously I had a first moto, whereas my brother was, you know, he DNF'd in Austin. I think he was a little farther back, but I was feeling good, and the first couple laps I really put it down and tried to bridge that gap to Zach. And I think he did the same thing too. He said, he's like, I saw you coming, and we were just kind of grinding there, and that kind of tucked me out a little bit. So then I just got into a groove and mellowed out a little bit. And then obviously with like, what, 3-4 laps left, I saw Porker coming, and I was like, dang it, kid, you know? And tried my best, but I mean, it was a long day, and I definitely was tuckered out a little bit. And they had some really good lines. Like, I thought I had good lines, and then when Austin got around me, I'm like, man, I guess not. Like, he had some lines, and I was using too much energy, hitting the bumps and things like that. So, I mean, maybe if I would have changed my lines up, we would have been in a different situation.
Yeah, but it's not like you could know what lines they were doing when you ran the whole moto by yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. I couldn't see what line Zach was taking because he was just far enough ahead, and then Faulkner was behind me and Jeremy. So, but I figured it out obviously after they passed me. But I mean, it's hard to describe like how many ruts were out there. Like, you have a lot of options, so you know, you're not always going to get the best line choice out there, but sometimes that makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect day. I won both the time practices and then both motos. I can't explain it. I mean, before the day, Dave and I were like, you know, if we get out of here with the top 5 or a podium would be a win all day in our book, because last year and the year before I've been 20th in both the first motos. So it's nice to not be in a hole, and you know, if I could have come out of here with even, you know, like I said, top 5 today, I would have been completely satisfied. I didn't do a single day of testing coming in because I wanted to just start where I left off last year, but it worked. So I know the bike very well, and I already feel really comfortable. You know, I'm not really searching it out right now or anything like that. So it's nice for me to come and just have a really solid day and not have any issues or dramas. You know, I feel like I got a lot of momentum from the Supercross series, and then also to win a race and get that monkey off my back at the end of last year was just really, really good. So I'm happy with that.